Hey, everybody, we're live here on a Monday night. We had to kick it back a little bit later as I'm traveling to Chicago, Illinois. But got some special guests on tonight, Adam and Nate and Seth. So we'll bring them in. We got a lot of things to talk about. We're going to talk about the Sea Arc tournament coming up next weekend, this coming weekend, and Fishing for Freedom. So let's get these guys in here. Adam, Nate, Seth, how's everybody doing tonight?
Yo.
Good.
So I'm up here in Chicago, and it is a little chilly up here. Is it still chilly down there?
It's pretty nice this afternoon. Wind's pretty windy, but kind of laid down later on, and didn't turn out too bad.
It was about 61 when I left work, so not too bad.
Not too bad. When are you guys leaving for the Sea Arc tournament?
We're leaving tomorrow evening. Hopefully after work about 5:30, 6 o'clock.
I'm leaving Thursday morning. So
Thursday morning. Okay.
I'm a fishing guy.
He's already got the fish lined out. He knows where he's going to go. He's going to be on them.
Hey, the best we've ever done down there. We showed up at the ramp at like 4 a.m. the day of.
That's true.
I was going to leave tomorrow night, but somebody's got to watch his dogs, so I'm staying here. No, I can't take too much vacation time, so I've got to stay here this year. I'll probably go next year if anybody goes, though.
Well, yeah, I think we're close to 190 boats right now, and then Nate, you're bringing the whole family, I think, aren't you?
Yep, bring the whole family down, and
Thank
they're
you.
spend the rest of the week with us.
Good. Let's see.
I wish
Everybody that's
my wife-
on can hear us okay. If you can, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions about the Sea Arc Owners Tournament coming up this weekend or any other things you want to talk about tonight, put it in the comments and we'll get those addressed. Go ahead, Seth.
My wife and kids, she keeps saying she wants to go, but there'd be nothing for her to do all day while we're fishing. So it'd be nice to have a couple wives down there.
My wife and my mom, they've been looking at places or stuff to do down there, and they found some type of petting zoo that they eat out of your hands and all kinds of stuff to do down there. So,
Kids,
Wow.
I'll have to do that next year.
yep.
So, Seth, this is your second Sea Arc tournament.
Yep.
What about you, Nate?
Yep, this will be the second one also.
How'd you guys do last year? Let's talk about that.
We caught several fish, but day of the tournament, we just ended up checking the one in, get that chance to win that Sea Arc boat. But still had a fun time, though.
Yeah, it was a blast. I had a great week. I caught my personal best, of course, out on tournament day. And, yeah, leave your excuses on the water. We like to say that. But
Yeah.
catch a thing. So,
So
How
what
it
do you
goes, got all the pressure on you.
something like,
get a little bit better or what? You got a game plan
oh, I'm on them.
on them?
No, I
I've
haven't,
been
if I'm going river or lake yet. I haven't got that far. So, we'll see. Hopefully, they don't move the tournament up to Friday, and I'll have at least one day to figure it out.
Yeah, but hey, you can show up the morning of and come on.
Oh, yeah. I ain't nervous.
You better get on that Navionics and check out some places where you're going to fish.
I got so many pins on Navionics, places I want to look at. I ain't got enough time. If I was there the whole week, I ain't got enough time to look at everything.
There's a lot of places that look good on that lake, though.
Oh, yeah.
I seen his pins. You can't even see the chart. It's like, like he wants to check the whole lake out.
Yep. All 74 miles over. You got an easy cap. You got a huge gas tank. Have you ever made the run up to Gunnersville, Nate?
Nope, we have not. We've actually only stayed on the lakeside from Decatur to, I guess it'd be Wilson Dam or
Gotcha. Yeah.
where's that? Yeah. But we're hoping to go towards Gunnersville this year and try that out.
Yeah. I'm thinking river too, but I don't know. I caught fish in the river last year and in the lake, so I don't know.
I was hoping there's going to be a little bit more current this year, but it's not looking like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got current up here though in our area.
Yeah, we got plenty of current up here.
Rocking and still coming up. So.
It's gonna get worse too. It looks like.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm gonna start bumping.
So a couple things. So we got obviously the Sea Arc tournament coming up, and our next event is May 13th, Jeffersonville, Indiana, Ohio River. And then we had Adam and Nate on here also to talk about Fishing for Freedom, which is the first week of June. I think I've been a part of it now for like 6 years, maybe 7. I don't know, like it just keeps going and going, but it's been a while and it's grown ever since the first day. I think I went and I fished Mark Twain Lake, which was a bad decision on my part, but I'm more.
You hate that lake. I don't get it. Fishing that lake.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Mark Twain Lake, but it does hold some big fish in the right times of year. But the main thing is we just want to tell people about Fishing for Freedom, why it's important, what's good about it. If you don't know about it, we're looking for boaters. So Adam, Nate, why don't you kind of give a little history on it? How many, what it's about, where the boats come from, where the veterans come from, how many, what we do for them as Fishing for Freedom, and kind of explain, what we're looking for boaters also.
Go ahead.
All right. So first off, we'll start with what is Fishing for Freedom. First off, we're based in Quincy, Illinois. It's the first weekend of June, or the event is the first weekend of June every year. First Sunday of June, I guess I should say. We take warriors out for a day of fishing to say thank you for what they've done for us. We cap our warrior count at 300 every year. We surpass over 300 warriors in the total event, but we cap our event at 300 warriors for the Sunday day of fishing. So we obviously need a lot of boats. So what the weekend is Friday night, we all get together, have a fish fry, and have fun. Everybody checks in, boaters and warriors both check in, kind of get to know each other. If they didn't already know each other, we have a lot that come back every year after year. This is year 12,
Correct.
I believe.
Yep.
So this is year number 12. We skipped a year because of COVID. So this is our 12th year on the water. Saturday, we've got, you can do pre-fishing. We've got an event at the Illinois Veterans Home where we take out roughly 40 veterans from the Illinois Veterans Home. Just at the Veterans Home Lake there, just kind of catch a bluegill, catch some little crappie, bass, catfish, whatever's in there. Last year, I don't know how many fish we actually caught last year. It was quite a few. So we usually have about 40 veterans at the Veterans Home. And then Saturday night, we have a big Heroes Banquet. About 1,000 people or so show up.
Yeah, about 1,000. Yep.
We've got everybody gets food. We have a live auction at the end of the night. We do a really cool opening ceremonies. Do the prisoner of war table and the speech about that. It's a really cool event. It's really neat to see. We've got cool things going on Saturday night. And then Sunday is the actual fishing tournament. So we've got lots of different divisions. The Mississippi River, we've got 2 divisions on the Mississippi River for catfish and bass. We've got Mark Twain Lake, catfish, bass, and crappie. The re-regulation pool of Mark Twain Lake, same thing. Actually, we don't have catfish down there, do we?
Nope, that's part of Mark Twain.
Yep. So bass and crappie at re-reg. And then we have a private lake one of our board members has in Coatesburg, Illinois, where we take our disabled veterans. That way they're not out on the open water on the river or on Mark Twain Lake. And it's just a weekend about saying thank you to all of our veterans and active duty personnel that come. They've sacrificed a lot for us, and all we can do is give back just a little bit. So we really enjoy everybody coming to Quincy. It's a big event. It's a really big event for the area. Got a lot of really great support, and we could always use a little more, obviously, to make it even better for our warriors that come. So they come from all over the country. We've got a guy from Hawaii that comes every year. I believe we had 27 states represented in warriors. I believe that was 2 years ago, so it would have been 2020 because we didn't have it in 21, right?
Correct.
Yeah, 2021 was canceled.
Yes.
So 2020, I believe we had 27 states represented with our warriors, and I think 14 or 17 states represented in our boaters. So it's a very big event. It's nationwide. Actually, it's worldwide. We had a donation from Scotland last year come through our website. So it's a really big event, and we're really happy to do it. And we're all volunteers, and we appreciate everybody's help.
And right now we're looking for still a few boaters, right?
We're looking for about 40 more boaters to get everybody out on the water this year.
So how does it work, guys? Because I've been wanting to come for 4 years, and every year the weekend has fallen on a weekend that I have to work. I work 12 hours and I work every other weekend. So it's a three-day event, right? A full 3 days.
Correct.
You don't have to come for all 3 days, but yes, it's a 3-day event.
Gotcha.
We
'Cause
try to make Saturday evening mandatory. It's the banquet and kind of go over the rules and everything. And then obviously Sunday's mandatory for the fishing.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just, for guys like me, 36 hours of vacation is quite a bit. So, no, that's cool. So Sunday is the day of. I need to make it happen one of these years. I shouldn't have to work next year the way our cycle works. So we'll see. But
If not, just quit.
yeah, it's
Yeah, I can tell you this as an angler and being part of now, for so many years, it's once you go to Saturday night dinner, like, and see that in person, like all those people coming together, the volunteers, the veterans, the anglers, all the vendors set up in the dinner, like that is something else. And like that, there's so many people at the Oakley Lindsay Center. It's really neat to see. So many people do so much to get everybody together to have a couple hours of fun on Sunday. It's just really awesome.
I'd say it takes hundreds, if not thousands of people to put this event together every year. I mean, we have fundraisers all throughout the year, several years. So it takes thousands of people to put this together.
So what goes down on Saturday? Like I said, I've never been a part of it before. So you fish Saturday all day too, I'm assuming?
It's not mandatory, but a lot of guys go out and just do some pre-fishing with their anglers.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's up until, I believe the banquet starts at 4 or 4:30.
Doors open at 4, yeah.
Yep. So you can fish whatever time you want to, Friday night, Saturday morning, up until 4 o'clock when the doors open at the banquet.
And usually you just meet your warrior on Friday, I take it? Or
Usually, but sometimes we have people like you have to work on Friday night or something like that. So they just come say hi Saturday.
Cool.
Everybody checks in. That way we know you're there. And then, so if your boater checks in before you are as a warrior, then we'll put you together, make the phone call or whatever and say, hey, come over and introduce each other. And that's, you can,
Awesome.
You don't have to come Friday night, but we obviously recommend it.
absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it'll happen.
You better get you a part of it, Seth.
Yes.
Gotta get
No
you
kidding.
forward.
I can take a few guys on my new boat, so
Yeah, I mean, some anglers will take 1, 2, 3, 4, just depending on what their boat is. And it's unique also, as you have different bodies of water. You have the Mississippian pool, 19 and 20, and 21 and 22, and you got Mark Twain Lake. So you have catfish, you have crappie, you have bass, you have different species. Maybe this year's like crappie for you. Maybe it's a good crappie year.
Yeah. maybe.
Maybe. You never know.
Hey, Trey's saying, come on, Seth, just do it.
Because we even have like Paul Beard, he comes up with a pontoon that he wrapped that has like a warriors scene or veteran scene on the side, and he takes 4 or 5, might even be 6 people out there.
They have fun too.
Yeah.
Heck
They have
yeah.
too much fun sometimes, don't they?
Yeah.
It's not a serious tournament. There's not a $10,000 prize on the line. We do
Right.
it for fun.
Oh, it's all about
It's
that.
really about taking those veterans out. And like I said, I've had a few repeats, but for the most part, every veteran I've taken out has been a different story, a different background. And it's so unique. Like once you get them out there, that experience, they're not there to just catch the biggest fish of their life. They're there to experience the time on the water, and communicate with you. Like that's so cool. So I mean, I've had all ages, and it's like I said, it's an experience that once you do it, you'll want to continue to do it for sure.
Right.
Warriors he's big into tournament fishing now, isn't he?
Yeah, so I took Nate Bardo, and I don't know if he's on here or not, but so my normal guys, one of them moved to South Carolina, so they couldn't make it last year. So Nate I think got randomly chosen on my boat, and he came up and he's like, hey, I can help you with the weigh-in in Hamilton. So he was helping me, but we got to go out the day before, and I said, hey, we're gonna go fish kind of some fast water, and he's like, that's fine. He had not really fished on a boat. He'd fished a lot from shore, so like he's in for a treat. and we got him. And the water temp, everything was like perfect for a flathead bite. So we had a good couple hours on Saturday, and then Sunday morning we really got after him. And he got to experience, the catching bait with me, the fishing part, the weigh-in part. But luckily, at the very end, we had like 5 minutes left, and I'm like, we can go in. We got a good bag. We can go in, or we can just throw fresh bait one more time for 5 minutes is all we got. And we threw that, and then rod down, and I think it was like 45 pounds. I mean, a 45-pound flathead, and some current is big. And he, just like watching him and getting videos of him, and now he's hooked. He fished, I think, 3 tournaments last year on the Twisted Cat Trail, and he's already fired up for this year. So it's cool getting them out, getting them experience, and now they're hooked.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
So we're a few boats short, like Nate and Adam were saying. We want to get those boats. If there's questions you have about anything with the event regarding when you got to be there, how you got to be there, what kind of boat you need, any of that stuff, feel free to reach out to Seth or myself or Adam or Nate. Shoot us a message on Facebook. Like I said, this event, once you do it, it's anybody. We're asking anybody with a boat to help us put on this event to make it another successful year. Don't hesitate. Ask us, like I said, any questions. That's why we wanted to kind of go over things tonight. A lot of people are curious what kind of boat they have to have, or if they're good at catching fish. I mean, I went out one year and didn't get a bite. 0 bites. But the guy that I was with, the veteran I took, had a blast because it wasn't about catching the fish. It was about getting that time on the water, that experience, hanging out with somebody different and being able to communicate with them for a few hours. And that was his, fun. That was his time on the water. Granted, we didn't get a bite, but we still had some fun.
If you don't have a boat, we are still looking for volunteers. Friday night to help serve dinner, Saturday night help serve dinner, and plenty of other things. So if you don't have a boat, we're still still willing to help out. You can sign up on our website as a volunteer, and we should have all the volunteer stuff ready to go by May 1st. We can get on there and sign up.
Yeah. Anything you want to do, if you feel like you want to be a part of it somehow, you don't have a boat, definitely reach out to us. Like I said, it's an awesome event, and once you become a part of it, it's like most of the people that became a part of it are kind of still there helping.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we even have volunteers come from several states. People come here just to volunteer. You can watch our video from several years back. Glenn Sanders explains a guy that came down on a train. I think he was from Chicago. I'd have to watch the video again. I can't remember. I believe he was from Chicago. He was, I believe, active duty, younger guy in his mid-20s, early 30s. Glenn said he showed up. He said, "I'm here all weekend. Let me know what I can do." And Glenn said when he wasn't working, he grabbed a book and he went over and sat, up against the railing at the riverfront or wherever he was and just read his book until somebody said, "Hey, can you come help me do whatever it is?" So yeah, we have people come from all over the place, and there's plenty to do for everybody. It's a volunteer event. All of us are volunteers, so we appreciate everything we can get.
Yeah, 100%. And Trey's been doing it for a while, so Trey's on here commenting. Want to feel good about America? This is the event for you. That's true.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't serve. I didn't get a chance to serve, and for the people that did, it's awesome being able to give back. Taking people out and being a part of this organization is great.
Yep.
Yeah, I also did not serve, but I've been around people in the military my whole life, but I've never really got to know them and got to know what they did and what they've experienced and everything. But some of the stories you hear coming from people, it's pretty eye-opening. So, we hear what they did for us sitting here at the kitchen table kind of thing. They're over there fighting for their lives and our lives. So
Yep.
it's really awesome to give back just to civilians. And, you hear some really cool things, and I've got chills right now. It's pretty cool. It's very, very
It is. And that it makes me go back to one of my first years. I went to Mark Twain Lake, and I had 2 come with me. They didn't know each other, but they had served really close to the same area, almost the same time frame. So like we were just dragging boards, and I let them I gave them the trolling motor remote, and they just sat in the back seats talking. And it was just like they had the best time ever. We weren't catching fish, but like if a rod moved a little bit, like it got a little snag, they would get all fired up. But just them being able to connect and realize, hey, we were this close to each other 10 years ago, and then have that connection and watch them sit back and talk to each other. That was cool. So that's what it's about, and that's, like I said, I've been doing it now for probably 6-7 years at least. Everything with even the the parade from Hamilton and Mark Twain, there's so many things with this event. Like when we leave Hamilton and we have the motorcycles and the fire department and ambulance, all that stuff, parade through the cities and everybody's out with their flags. That's pretty cool too. Pretty cool.
That's a big hit coming through Ursa up there with all the people lining down the streets holding American flags. And
yeah, from Quincy to Hamilton's a roughly 45-minute drive, and there's several small towns on the way back from Hamilton to Quincy, and people just line the streets, holding flags. I've got some videos. You can see videos on our Facebook page and our website. There's a few on there, and just people holding flags, waving, holding signs. There was a gentleman, I want to say he was in his 80s. He would stand on the side of the road in full uniform and salute. He's a veteran, and he would salute there on the side of the road for the entire brigade coming through. I don't know, Alex, I don't remember how many boats you normally have up there.
He does that. I think we were around 50 boats last year up there with bass, crappie, catfish. He's done that every year since I've been up there, and he's on the edge of the road, and he is full salute the whole time. And I tell you, every veteran that's rode with me, I mean, it's a tearjerker moment for sure. And I'll tell you what, like, you can't even roll your window up from Hamilton to Quincy, because the second you roll up, you got to roll it back down, because there's somebody in a house in the middle of nowhere. They got their flag, they're side by side out there, and they're saluting, they're waving, their flags are out. Like I said, it's an experience to be part of for sure.
Yep. So we even got something similar to the motorcade coming back from Mark Twain Lake. They're going through Monroe City and Palmyra now, and the cities are really coming on board, helping out.
Yeah, Palmyra did a lot last year. We've got a big, how big is our flag? 30 by 50?
Something like that, 30 by 40. Yeah. It's a big flag.
Yeah, we've got a really big American flag that we put up down at the riverfront, and everybody goes underneath the flag. We hang it from 2 bucket trucks, and everybody drives underneath the flag. Palmyra put one up last year that was just a little bit smaller, but right in the middle of town. So everybody drives underneath that flag. The whole crowd, or the whole city, comes out. People from all over the place, not even just Palmyra, come out just to wave. It's a few minute ordeal, but people sit out there for an hour waiting, and it's awesome.
That's awesome.
Surely your work would let you off for just a couple of days, wouldn't they, Seth?
Oh, they'll let me off.
Tell them it's a donation.
I might have a couple Twisted Cat tournaments. My boss doesn't like that, so.
Oh yeah.
Well, perfect. Fishing for Freedom. It's a nonprofit.
There you go.
And you get to go fishing.
Right.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's growing. In any way you want to be a part of it, let us know, whether it's volunteer, sponsorship, be a boater. We could use your help. We appreciate your help to continue to make it grow. Like I said, what do you say? This is the 12th year?
Correct.
Yeah, and for everybody watching right now, and everybody that watches after right now, that's not live, our website is fishingforfreedomquincy.org. Facebook page, Fishing for Freedom Quincy. Our phone number, if you'd like to call us and ask questions, 217-779-3811. You can find me or Nate on Facebook. Well, Nate's Facebook doesn't work right now, but you can find me on Facebook and ask me a message. I'm on our Facebook page, so you can send our Facebook page a message, leave a comment. I see it. I don't always get back to it immediately, but I definitely see it. There's a few of us on there. Email fffquincy@gmail.com. There are multiple Fishing for Freedom events throughout the country. I think we're still the biggest one.
Correct.
Texas used to be the biggest, but we beat them, I don't even know how many years ago,
Like
5 years ago or so. And I think we're still bigger than them
Are
as
they-
far as total warrior count. So
Are they affiliated, or is it just kind of the same concept?
Same concept. They're not affiliated.
Gotcha.
I'd say, I don't know if Adam said it last year. We took 325 warriors out total, including voter warriors. I think you might have mentioned that earlier, but
Okay.
That's,
I know you don't have your dual monitor, but do you have access to Facebook? Can you play that video? I watched it last year. And it was pretty freaking sweet. Of
We're
the
gonna-
going back.
Of
Yeah,
which
we're
one?
The I don't know what it would be called or whatever, but the brigade going back to Quincy. I think you posted it.
yeah, I'd have to find it.
say there's a short one on our website too. I don't know. It's kind of explains a little bit about the event or some interviews with the warriors.
And volunteers.
Yeah, and we'll post those in the thread. I'll look too, but I'm running off an iPad tonight, so I don't
Yeah.
have a lot of.
Computer stuff.
The dual monitor is a lot better when I go live, but I
Yeah.
did travel to Chicago tonight, so. But still want to do the Monday night show, and yeah,
For sure.
Awesome.
That video
I'll show
is
you one.
it'll give you chills. Whoever's watching needs to go and look up their Facebook page and check that out because it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I posted it. I posted the last video probably 2 months ago, so roughly right at the beginning of the year.
Gotcha.
Yep, it's on the Facebook page, Fishing for Freedom, Quincy, Illinois. I'll show you another cool picture just since I brought it up right here. Hopefully you can see this. I'll stick it in your face.
yeah.
This gentleman here, his name is Louis Demers. This was 2019. He was 96 years old
That's
out there fishing on Mark Twain Lake with Wade Walling. Wade's here from here in town. I know he was here last year, and he plans to be here again this year. So he
Here,
was
play. Do that again. I'm gonna get you big on the screen. Do that again. Show that.
Yep. He's 96 years old in this picture. Hopefully you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Perfect.
You said that was 2019.
This is 2019, so that was 4 years ago.
He's 100 now. Huh?
It says 95.9, so his birthday must be in June. So he'll be 99, roughly 99 years old this year, and he's still signed up as a warrior. So that's what it's all about. Like
That's freaking awesome.
he's a World War II veteran. It's awesome.
Yeah, I got to take, like I said, it was a few years ago. I got to take a World War II veteran out, and it was, I mean, we caught one fish. He didn't care about the fish. It was just getting out there with us, talking. It was raining. It was kind of a crappy day, but he had a blast, and we still talk now. He'll send me messages asking if he's like, you want any lead? I got some lead laying around if you need lead for the weights. Let me show that big. That's a good picture, yeah.
That's really cool.
That, yeah. So right there is what this is all about.
We got to catfishing, but other than that, that's about the coolest thing I've ever seen.
True.
Hey, you guys just get that text. Be prepared to fish on Friday.
Uh-oh. That's what you want, right?
Yep. It's just a little rain for Saturday.
Yeah. Thursday's my travel day, so this is going to be fun.
Why don't you go ahead and share some of them waypoints to us that you got?
I'll send you all of them. You can type good and which one's right.
So yeah, the weather doesn't, now being on the Sea Arc team, doing that event too. And like I said, it's being part of these big events. It takes a lot of moving parts. I mean, obviously a 200 boat Sea Arc tournament, 200 boat, fishing for free. And there's so many moving parts, whether it's weather, logistics, dinners, rules, lives, all that stuff. And everything has to come together, and it takes the right people in the right positions to make things happen. And like I said, Fishing for Freedom it was a good event when I got to be a part of it, and it continues to grow. And Nate's now the president.
Yep.
And like I said, it's continuing to grow, and really excited about this year. So like I said, we're a few boats short. We just want to add some boats to it. And I have a few guys that reached out this week to me, so we'll have to talk to them guys.
As of last week, I think we're still looking for about 40 more boats.
So 40 boats, yeah.
We've
Which
got
sounds like a lot, but we'll. They come out of the woodwork the closer we get for whatever it is. I mean, Seth somehow will find a day off work.
What at this?
or he'll quit. Yeah. So yeah, we're excited. We got in the catfishing side of things too. Since this is kind of a catfishing podcast, is grown tremendously. I think for Fishing for Freedom too.
Yes.
See if I can find some pictures from last year.
Say, last year you had quite a bit of weight, didn't you, Alex? That you weighed in. You remember how much?
Yeah, I think it was like around 78 pounds.
And that's pretty good for June time frame. I mean, if anybody knows, that's usually around spawning time. And
Yeah, so the flatheads really turn on that time of year. The blues it's a little early for blues still, but the flatheads are on fire.
Do you?
Tom said he's gonna kidnap you.
Because Alex loves to talk trash about. Do you guys ever weigh cats out of Mark Twain? Does anybody catch them? Because I love that lake.
very seldom. I mean, here lately, I've been seeing a lot of people catfish over there, but I can't say during our tournament that we get a whole lot of them weighed in over there. We do get a few, but
That's interesting.
What do you mean you love Mark Twain Lake?
Yeah, I've seen some gigantic fish come out of Mark Twain Lake.
I've seen some big ones
Yes.
too. They're there. They're definitely there.
They came out of the water. It's big fish, and a lot of them.
you're just saying Alex doesn't know how to lake fish?
No, I'm not saying that. I don't know. Different
That hurt.
or what? But
Yeah, well, you know what? You can Mark Twain Lake all you want.
I mean, happens.
I like them flatheads on the river in June. It's been good to me, and you gotta have the right bait, the right depth.
That's where I got hooked on catfishing. My uncles run trout lines down on Mark Twain. They took me out when I was a kid and caught the biggest one of that day. There was a 42-pound flathead and then about 7, they call them white Fultons, but they're blues that are just white. Probably 7 of them over 30. And little ones in one night. That was probably the best night. Ever since then, I threw all my bass gear away. That's when I started catfishing.
That's
Good way.
the smartest thing you ever did. But
Yeah.
Why is Mark Twain Lake the only ones that call them white Fultons?
I don't know. It's weird, but
I mean,
they'll live and die on that. You can't argue with them. They are white.
No, there's no blue cats on Mark Twain. I'm telling you.
Weird. And they're pure white. I mean, they're not albino, but they are white.
That's weird. I mean, I wonder what makes them.
I don't.
I don't know if it's the rocky bottom or what it is. That's weird.
Oh, Wheeler's got rock, and I mean, they're not white out of there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is strange, but there's something different about them. They are white.
Wheeler's part of a lake or a river, though, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if that has something to do with it.
Yeah, but technically Mark Twain is too.
Yeah, Mark Twain's got Salt River feeds it.
Sort of.
True,
It's a
yeah.
lot smaller, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Smaller lake.
so are the fish.
Yeah.
And they're harder to find, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, what last year? What did Mark Twain catfish win? What did it have? Was it 4 pounds?
I'll look it up. I got
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, let's look it up because I just want to. I'm curious how big are these white?
Is it a 5-fish limit?
3.
3?
Three fish. Correct, too.
I mean, I might go down there and catch 120 pounds out of it just to show you guys what's up.
Yeah. Okay.
Make sure you take pictures.
I'll bring them to the line.
And leave the excuses on the water.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No excuses.
That's what kind of got me hooked on catfishing was the Twisted Cat series. I mean, just traveling around with that, it really got me hooked into the catfishing. Just seeing all the big ones being weighed in, and really want to go after it harder and try catching some big ones.
Yeah.
And then going up there with Alex and his pool, and just fishing with other people that I've met throughout the trail, and it's been a fun time.
It's kind of like Fishing for Freedom is kind of like a family too. With Twisted Cat, where I don't know what was the first Twisted Cat tournament you fished.
Lake of the Ozarks.
Really?
Why was that the first?
It's a fun time down there, I guess.
No.
That was with Adam here and Logan Cumby. We went down there and
It was
We
a
did.
fun weekend.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know that Logan came to fish very much, but
probably not.
No.
We always caught fish down
so what would you say, Nate, kept you continuing to fish and chase tournaments?
there. Obviously, I mean, the friends that I met throughout the trail. I mean, that definitely, and they kind of not necessarily gave you hints or anything, but they kind of, I guess, gave you a few hints on what to do and what to do, I guess, to go after the bigger fish.
So this is what, would this be your third year? Or second?
Probably my third year, like really going into the tournaments. Yeah.
Which you just had a good finish last.
Yeah. Up in Fort Madison, yeah.
That's a tough. Had 48 boats. That was a tough. You had what, 7th?
Yep, just shy of 47 pounds.
Yeah.
Chin,
Which
okay.
in the last like 6 years would have won the tournament.
Yeah.
We had an incredible weigh-in, so that, you know what I mean, changed things. But no, that was a good weigh-in. That's tough to get a top 10 in Fort Madison.
It was a fun day of fishing. We caught a lot of fish and a lot of bites, and which everybody caught a lot of fish up there that day.
I know somebody that had their limit at 7:30.
Yeah.
But so when you go up there to Fort Madison, because obviously you're from Pool 21, like you don't go up to Pool 19 very often, or if ever, right?
Very seldom. We used to several years ago during the summertime, but I never go up there the springtime.
So what made you, like when you go up there as an angler that doesn't get to travel to Pool 19 much, what made you choose where you're going to go? Did you pre-fish? Did you scan?
Honestly, I kind of got on Navionics and just kind of looked for some steep ledges that went up on flats. That's where we kind of targeted, and I had a couple areas picked out, and we stuck with the same area, maybe a 300-yard stretch all day long.
So that's a pretty tight little area you fished. So did you spread them out in deep and in shallow?
We did. We had some in from 2 foot of water into about 25 foot of water, and they all come from about 13 foot of water. We did catch maybe 2 fish in 3 foot of water, but most of them were between 13 and 15 foot of water, which is weird because a lot of people talked about how they caught them all day long in the shallow water. So just
Yeah, that's interesting. What do you got to say, Seth? I know you're about to say something.
I mean, there's not a lot of spots that have 25 foot of water in that pool, so you're kind of giving yourself away there, but
yeah, it'd be all right.
What are we talking?
There's several deep holes in that pool.
there's a few.
Yeah, Seth is right now. You can imagine his iPad. He's just waypoint. Waypoint.
You know, it's funny. You mentioned you went out and fished with Alex and Keokuk. How many times have you done that?
I've gone 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah.
That one night we caught a bat. That was kind of interesting night.
Alex,
What are you getting at?
Alex is what I would consider to be my best friend. We talk on the phone 2 or 3 times a day, every single day. I've never fished with him in Keokuk before. Not
Maybe
one.
we'll go out together, Seth, sometime.
Yeah, that sounds good. Me and you will go.
That'll work.
Hey, I don't have a boat right now, so you haul it.
10 times called, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm so-and-so. And then I drive by and he's sitting in his window smoking. Wave at him as I drive by.
No, I get to at all you guys as you drive by. I see Cody Vickers every night driving by.
Yeah, I believe that.
That in a boat, I bet.
Huh?
That's in a boat, I guess.
Yeah.
Beautiful gray dynasty just flying up to the dam.
You know, speaking of that, both of you have Easy Cats, and I guess I have fished out of Seth's boat, but Nate, I'm ready to fish out of that's almost like going to the movie theater. Seriously, you can sit in the back seat. Do you ever play movies?
Not yet. We're still trying to dial in the hummingbirds a little bit and try to get some stuff figured out on them, but that's the goal.
A lot of people joke about that, but you have 2 19s, so you could do all the scanning you could ever want to do and also watch Netflix at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can watch Netflix. I mean, that's
crazy, right?
Yep.
Actually, you can, right?
I'm pretty sure. They have Wi-Fi on them, and I think I've seen a video before where you can actually somebody was watching football on it one time.
I saw somebody had WGEM News up on there. House in the garage watching the news. Solix, but yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, there's a good question from Chad Hayden. He said, "What are your thoughts on the Keokuk Dam?"
It's concrete.
Really tall.
It's the biggest dam on the Mississippi.
Dangerous.
Dangerous,
You know what you're doing up there.
Yes.
fast,
Shallow up there in areas.
very shallow. Usually, like growing up, you hear dams, and you see all that white water. You think that's deep. That's got to be like so deep because they dive and they see these big giant catfish. They could swim like the size of a Volkswagen. But then you go up there years later in your boat, you're like, oh crap, it's 2 foot deep right here.
Yep.
As soon as they see that Volkswagen catfish, they just stand up and walk away at our dam.
Yeah, so I mean, every dam is different, obviously, but for the most part, a lot of the dams that I've fished or been around are pretty shallow.
Well, we've noticed the guys that aren't from around that don't know that they're supposed to be scared of Keokuk Dam, because you can go to a lot of other dams around the country and drive right up to them, and it's 100 foot of water sometimes, and you don't have to worry about it. And guys will just fly across the front of the dam at 40 miles an hour, and they have no idea how close they are to just death.
I mean, how big of a drop is that from pool 19 down there to 20? That's
Oh, it's huge.
yeah.
35?
Huge.
25.
Especially last year.
Even one gate open up there can be very dangerous.
Yeah, right. Free. Or the last time I drove by, there was. But, yeah, I guess
38 feet.
38.
with this
that's
rise
hot.
of water, we'll be able to go anywhere we want up there. I mean, within reason. But last year, I mean, you get yourself in a bind.
Yeah. I
That's
think somebody broke a
Nate-
trolling motor up there last year, the year before.
Yeah. I heard that. I wasn't
Which I love that old terror. Like I said, I was going up and it was shallow, but it's obviously it's rough. So I wanted to go slow without the big motor. So I'm just going up there, but the boat's like hitting the waves, and then just bang, it hit something. Obviously the bottom, but it sheared the belt, but everything kept working just fine. So I kept finishing going up, fished the night. When I went to hit stow, motor air. I mean, I fished for like 4 hours and no issues. But when I have to go to leave, motor air, which that sucked.
Yeah.
Because if you know one thing about, then you got to use big motor. Big motor makes every carp in the pool 20 jump.
Yes.
So
That is
then
terrible there.
you're driving like this because you got carp flying over the boat. Terrible.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, plenty of bait though. Them
Plenty of
carp-
bait, but you know what? That's like a $595 mess up.
Yeah.
We do that.
More and more want to go back to Tarova, believe it or not.
Oh, no.
But
No. So who's taking me fishing next?
Let me know when you want to go.
Does that mean I can go too?
we got enough seats. We could take everybody on the podcast right now. Probably. How many people we got watching?
16 on Facebook. We probably could.
We could take everybody that's watching right now.
Yep.
Between the two of us.
Well, eventually this podcast is going to turn into like some river podcast. So where we're doing this show on the water fishing, which
As
that could be kind of a crap show.
get off this.
Because, hold on. You know why that could be? Nate, you want to answer that?
Not sure.
Because you're giving away all your secrets or what?
Nope. If I let Nate cast.
Very true. Don't be calling me out in front of everybody like that. It couldn't have been a worse rod to throw in the water.
He threw everything in.
Everything. But on my
It's
defense,
one thing to bird nest it. So if you're going to bird nest it, at least hold on to the rod.
I think somebody bird nested it before I threw it.
Oh,
And
you
that's
got kidding me.
and then somebody didn't
How did it
find
fall out of your
pool or onto the reel. I mean, who doesn't tie the line onto the reel? Then we could have got that route back.
That was even more devastating, honestly.
I was speechless.
We had a good night though. didn't we?
Yes,
Yeah, I got pictures. It looked like a lot of fun
that's about all you get, though, isn't it, Seth? Just photos of us fishing.
most of the time.
Never
Hamilton,
invite, just the pictures.
Hamilton came up that night.
Yeah, yeah, that was the night before that, wasn't it? Before you put that tournament on.
Oh, I took
Well, I didn't.
you and Hamilton out,
Yep.
and you guys had all those pictures. You didn't even know I was there.
Nope.
I was just a photographer that night.
When we go, that's all you want to do is take photos. We can never get you a reel and a fish.
Well, I can promise you one thing is I'm gonna start casting the rod.
That's probably a smart move.
Oh man.
That's- Off this podcast tonight, I'm gonna install some lights on my boat, so it's gonna be a late night for me. But as soon as I get that done, we'll be ready to go live on the river anytime.
Perfect.
Whenever.
That would be a fun night. Just get several boats out on the water, do some fishing, and
Yeah, we got Starlink now. If you sit close enough to us, which in the spot we're probably going, you're going to be able to, then you can probably pull off our Starlink and we could all act like.
Yeah, so we got a new router actually just a couple days ago. So me and my dad were testing the router for that. We could, anywhere up there, we'd be all tied up. It'd be pretty sweet.
That'd be pretty cool.
I wonder how far is the reach? Like, how far could you be away from it and still connect? Do you know?
Pretty far. Pretty far. Everywhere we're gonna fish up there, we're good.
that's great.
So that would be cool. You could see Nate over there on watching Netflix on the side.
We could tell he's getting a bite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
See that finger come up. Nope, hold on a second. This is a good part.
Oh man, I did laugh when Alex fell out of Steve's boat. Yeah.
You will live that down. What you did to yourself in the world,
What happened?
I don't know. You reposted it again the other day, so you kind of want to live it down, I guess.
You bring it on yourself, don't you?
Hey, that happens every once in a while.
I bet you'll never forget it.
No, because I was in my underwear the rest of the day.
Was it the next day that you ran out of gas, or was that a different one?
The next year. That was last year I ran out of gas.
Who runs out of gas?
I ran out of gas last year too.
Well, the crazy thing is I was like, we're probably gonna run out of gas. Well, let's go for it anyways.
That wasn't last year because I wasn't there. It must have been 2 years.
2 years ago then. Has it been 3 years since I fell out of the boat?
I thought that was the same year, but
That's
Hold on,
okay.
I'll tell you.
Did you ever find out that weight, Adam?
Yes, I did.
Hold on. What did you hear him, Nate? What do you guess the weight is?
on what?
I'm gonna say 6 pounds at Mark Twain.
I'll stick with your 4.
Adam or Seth, what's yours?
That's unbelievable.
What was it?
9.63.
Most weight you've ever got from Mark Twain Lake.
That was last year.
Oh.
I'm not sure what the total is. I only have last year's sheet.
Can you see my weight?
Yeah. I actually just had it on there and I forgot the number.
186.3.
I think it was 0.2.
Is that a 3-day total or?
A 3-year total. 68.91 big fish, 43.32.
Maybe it's a time of year thing. Maybe they're spawning in Mark Twain in June every year.
That is one of the tough things about our event. First weekend in June is the spawn, but
I know they always run lines in May and August. They
Yeah.
don't pull with it in the summer, but I don't know. I've had some good days on that lake. I can't imagine nobody's ever come up with a big fish.
If you're in Quincy that weekend, the first week of June, we're going to have some events going on at the riverfront. Quincy Axe Company is going to be down there. I'm not sure who all is going to be down there, but we're going to have some organizations down there and all that. So make sure you come on down that Sunday.
Sunday morning, about 11 o'clock we usually start. So I think the Quincy Children's Museum might have something down there, so there'll be something for the kids. We've got food vendors. We've got bleachers and tents and everything, but you can bring your chair if you'd like, or bring a pop-up tent if you want. It's fun.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah.
And another pretty cool thing we do, I guess while we're talking about it, I mentioned the private lake we have, one of our board members has. His escort is actually fire trucks. So he has like 11 fire trucks come from, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 different fire districts around Quincy. They escort in, they'll do a fire truck and then a couple boats, and then a fire truck and a couple boats, and motorcycles and police and game wardens and all that too, obviously. But they do that. It's pretty cool to see all the different kinds of fire trucks, and all the sirens are on, the lights are on. The drivers usually bring their wife or their kid or whatever, and they make a family event out of that. It's pretty cool to see.
Heck yeah. So what's that lake? I mean, is it bass, I would assume, or?
Yeah, it's only 2 acres, 4 acres.
Yeah, I mean, it's a decent sized pond.
We don't take very many boats out. It's just
Yeah.
a few.
That's pretty cool though that he lets you guys do that and stuff. That's neat.
Yeah, because there's always a handful of veterans that don't want to go out on the river or the lake just because the waves and don't feel safe out there. So
Yeah.
If
it's
we've got
definitely nice.
someone in a wheelchair, on crutches, etc.
Yeah.
So it's a lot safer.
For sure. And I'm assuming you kind of coordinate certain guys with certain types of boats and stuff like that, I would assume. Or
Yeah, we work our best. We even that Saturday night when the Warrior and Boater talk it over, we can even switch you around last minute if we need to, if they don't feel safe in the boat
right, absolutely.
or that boat doesn't work for them, I guess.
Right.
What did Chad saying? Spencer Bauer. We need to get him in. What do you think?
I told you that last week. It was interesting, Chad. If you watched the video, I think you know how it went. Wasn't great. Kind of like Mark Twain Lake, it looks like. It was fun. Spencer's a heck of a good dude, and I'd like to get him on the podcast here. I think he'd do it for sure. We just got to figure out the subject and all that. But no, he's about as down to earth celebrity as I've ever met. It's pretty cool, dude.
He said he watched the video.
Yeah, it didn't go well. Me and Al take him out in Louisiana May 6th for another tournament. We're gonna see how that goes.
I'm hoping to make one also.
What's that?
Nate's fishing that too.
Yep.
Who are you fishing, Nate?
I'm hoping to fish with Donnie and Donald Moore.
Oh, come on. You're card like Charlie?
What's that?
You said you're gonna pull that card like Charlie?
Yep. Kicking him out of the boat. I'm going in on this one.
That'll probably be a bumping game.
Yeah. Depends with this weather we keep getting around in the Midwest. It's up and down, up and down.
It's cold up in Chicago, but I tell you what, that water's moving, and when that water's high like that this time of year, it'll really push them up.
Yeah.
I mean, if you'd asked Max DeBay, he said the Blues are up in 19.
100%. They're jumping the dam, I heard.
If you think about it, surely there's got to be a few that way, don't you think?
I've always thought so, but we've never seen one.
If you think one
I
would
mean,
lock
Max
grip on them.
long up there, but we just every tournament we have, we can't luck into any.
Yeah.
There's commercial fishermen that absolutely pillage Pool 19, and they post pictures of what they catch every single day, and I've never seen a blue cat in their boat
Really?
once. They've got a 30-foot Quokka plate boat that will be full to the rails of channel cats pretty much every day. And then certain times of year it'll be big flatheads, same up to the rails. Like could, but no blue.
It's crazy. You think there'd have to be some of them up that way?
You would think so. I oftentimes wonder about when I catch them locking through and just seeing, but I'm not sure if that's legal, and it wouldn't do any good anyway.
Yeah.
Now we've let some blues go at Fishing for Freedom up above, a few, but
Yeah.
I just don't understand why they wouldn't. Like they go further north in the Missouri River and the Ohio or Tennessee or whatever. I mean, as longitudinally or whatever, they go further north than Fort Madison. So why won't they go?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever.
Jim Lamer, they did a study, Western Illinois University, a few years ago on silvers. They took 4 from pool 19, tagged them, put them down in pool 20. I want to say within the next 8 or 10 hours, they figured out how to get into the lock back up into pool 19.
Yeah.
That is the craziest story I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I wish I was that smart.
Fish, I've always wondered, they can't see crap under there. So they swim up to a concrete wall. They don't know what direction it's facing or anything. I don't understand how they do it, but they do. I mean, it's unbelievable. Like salmon spawn in the same place every year of their entire lives.
Yeah.
And if they can't make it, they'll just die in the place that as far north as they can get. I mean, animals are.
But if you think of that, especially pool 19 and 20, with the dam there being so big, and you think of a fish like a silver that when they hear noise, they just jump. You don't think that's a smart fish. That fish is smart enough to know that it got pulled out of 19, dropped in 20, and it goes back, locks up to pool 19.
Maybe that's what it's doing. Jumping
That
up
blows my mind.
Yeah.
where it's at, and then it goes back down and swims over a little bit and jumps back up. You can see where it's at.
That's what you hear. You hear them catfish stories, how some of them travel a couple hundred miles on that river. I wish they'd do more tagging so we can learn more about the catfish. Just be interesting.
Yeah, I want to say I was watching one of Chris Souter's lives years ago, and there was a guy that said that they released one in the Ohio River, several hundred miles up the Ohio. It swam down into the Mississippi, went up into the Missouri, and swam up to Kansas City, I believe. So
we caught one at MRM that was tagged in Kansas City a few months later.
Yeah.
They do travel a lot, but the more stuff we learn about them, like I said, some of it's crazy. When you take our pool 20, come September, depending on the weather, you might go out one day and catch them. You look at the Jack and Jill tournament. One year we have a crazy weigh-in, but the next year the weather's cooler, the water's dropping, they're gone, the weigh-in changes.
This past year, 2022 or whatever, there was some gigantic fish caught. Colton and Cody caught an 80 2 days before the tournament. A pile of big fish being caught pre-fishing up until the day before, and then the weigh-in wasn't anything. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't anything spectacular.
It was cold, wasn't it?
Yeah. Cold front come through again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there, but I didn't fish it, and I do remember that.
But if you remember, 2 years ago, Canton was the biggest weigh-in of the season.
Really?
The next weekend, the Alton Classic was the worst weigh-in it's ever seen.
Yeah.
Flip it. Canton goes bad. Alton's good. And talking to some of the biologists in the Hannibal, Missouri, DNR, they literally, I remember one time in September I talked to them. They told me that most of the migratory blue cats were in pool 22 or whatever. How they know that or where that's crazy, but I mean they had to be right because you could just tell by the weigh-in how the fish were gone. There was no blues weighed at all.
Huh.
Crazy.
The latest I've caught a blue was the second to last weekend of October in pool 20.
I went out in December this past year fishing, and we had a nice day and ended up catching. It was only a pounder, with nothing big, but in our pool 21.
that's a cool story because I mean that's pretty unique.
I caught a 50.02 in the Des Moines River on October 6th. So,
Yellow cat,
no, it was big blue.
white
That was
bull.
best for a long time.
Hey, Fulton.
So speaking of Jack and Jill, I haven't told anybody this. Just talked to the city of Canton today, and they are wanting to do Jack and Jill. So we're gonna do Jack and Jill Labor Day weekend like we've always done in the past, but instead of being a points tournament and $300, we're gonna go to $150, 100% payback plus whatever money you get on top of that. Same rules. 2 adults, 1 man, 1 female, and then as many kids as you want. So pretty excited about that. So kind of lowering the entry fee and just making it a big event, kind of one-off, no points thing or anything.
We just eating in that, Alex. You talked about maybe you.
What?
Are you fishing in it? We talked about that, like us actually competing in this one, just because it's
Yeah,
like,
we might get out there and fish with it too. I think so. Yeah, it's going to be a fun event. We want to really grow it. It's kind of unique because Nate, you've done well in this event.
Yep.
But it's different because it's not your normal 2 to 3 guys in a boat or whatever. It's, now you've got to have, 1 man, 1 woman. So you have a lot of variations. You have a father, daughter, you have a father and 4 kids, whatever that may be. But the most, if you have 2 adults, they got to be male, female. So changing those rules last year, I was shocked. We had, I think, 42, 44 boats.
no, you have to, no matter what the female, right? Because it can't be a father-son.
No, it's got to be, so it could be a father, it could be a husband, wife, and son or whatever. But the main thing is, as many kids, 18 and under, as you want, as long as your boat can hold that.
And there has to be 1 girl on your boat, just to
There
clarify.
has to be 1 girl.
My brother and I have both taken our mom. He took her the first year, I took her the second year, and then last year he took his now wife. So it's pretty cool. It's a family event.
Did they get married on their boat, or he proposed on the boat, or what was the deal?
Yeah, he proposed on the boat Christmas Eve or the day after Christmas, I want to say, of 2 years ago. They got married in September of last year, and then 2 Sundays ago, he called me. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Nothing." He said, "You want to go take pictures for us on the boat?" And I said, "Sure." He said, "We're going to do our announcement." So we went out there and had a little onesie and a sign that said, "Baby," I'm not going to say what the said, but it said, "Baby Broxick coming in September." So we went out and took pictures on the river. So yeah, they're definitely river people. All of us are. Kyle and I grew up out there, and then his now wife did too. So we're big river people.
I crap out of me if I even suggested doing something like that. So that's pretty neat.
Honestly, it was probably her idea.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. But that's what it's about. It's grown every year. I remember the first one I fished years and years ago, and we just kept it. So to continue to grow it, to not have like the higher entry, the $300 more of the tournament trail style, we're just going to cut that in half, $150, 100% payback, and really try to grow that. Canton really comes out and supports it. They're looking for they got vendors that show up for food and stuff. So like I said, it was fun last year. I was shocked at the turnout because you were there, right, last year, Seth?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
I mean, I was shocked. 44.
Everybody's scared of pool 21 just because they say there's no big fish. If you spend some time on there, there's plenty of big fish in that pool. You just got to find them.
Yes.
Because there's some big ones in Keokuk, and they got to go through there. I mean, there's nowhere else to.
Yeah.
We've had some good weigh-ins, though, in Canton. We
Yep.
really
So my biggest one was 100.5 pounds with 3 fish. That was probably 3 or 4 years ago.
Tournament day.
Tournament day.
Really?
Yeah, that's like I said, it's and it's fun. It's a cool city to do the tournament in. It's fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun with it this year, especially with having the Starlink. We'll probably be fishing the tournament. Probably have some side bets. I'm excited for that. I love the side bets. So, but that hasn't even been announced. This is the first time we've talked about it right now, literally. So, That'll go up this week to talk about, get that event out there. And then still got a lot of tournaments left to get to that championship. Nate, I think you're still in the top. You're in the top, actually. Top, what are you? Do you
I
remember?
think 25th or so.
25th?
Yep.
That's pretty good. But like I said, every event will change as, depending on how you do in the next few tournaments. So
You going to Jeffersonville?
I don't think so.
Me neither.
Busy at work and just don't have time to get over there. I'd rather pre-fish, never been over there, and
Yeah.
he's nervous.
nervous. Yep.
It happens.
It happens.
You what?
I said he's nervous.
No.
Adam, you gonna jump on a boat this year?
If I have time, yeah. Last year I fished one time the whole year. This year I fished one time already, but it was in Florida. So I'm hoping to do a lot more this year. I'm slowing down on the racing and all that kind of stuff, traveling around.
Tell us a little bit about your background, because this isn't like, you're not new to fishing.
Nope, I've fished my whole life. Grew up on the river. We had a camp just north of Quincy. Every weekend we were out there from Memorial Day to probably 4th of July. We used to do a lot of bank pulls. I hunt, I fish, everything out there all the time. If there's not ice on the river, I'm probably out there. So, yep, grew up fishing. I fished my first tournament in 2018, I believe it was, with Logan. And it was 94 degrees that day. And Logan had just had his Oquaka plate boat acid washed. So we were in a mirror all day long and had one bite, and I think it was a billy gar. So that was my first tournament. There was, I think, what did we have, 10 boats that day? Or something like that? 9 boats?
Oh, my, that was in Quincy.
Yeah, it was bad.
That was terrible. I had to change the payout because the fishing was so bad.
Yeah.
I think there was 9 boats, and 4 of them caught fish, and top 5 paid. So we couldn't even catch a minnow.
That
So
was terrible.
that was my first tournament. I've done 2 or 3 at the Ozarks. 2. I fished 2 at the Ozarks, and I helped with 1. I've done Jack and Jill twice. I've helped at Jefferson City. A couple things here and there. So yeah, I fished a few. I'd like to get more into rod and reeling. I've got all the stuff to do it. I just never do it. So
Yeah. Well, we got to get you out there.
I know. I went with you once up in Keokuk, and that was definitely fun.
Seth, you got to go, dude. I'm telling you. Come on.
Ridiculous.
We just recently went.
Show of hands in the comments how many people have fished with Alex and Keokuk, because it seems like quite a few of you.
Hey, you tell after Sea Arc the next weekend, I'm ready.
All right.
I'm gonna call you every day, you and Nate, and see who takes me first.
Let's go.
There won't be fishing being done.
Huh?
I bet you will call me every day, but there won't be any fishing getting done. You're like, I saw this week for 6 days.
No, the fishing should get pretty good up there.
Nah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm giving you a hard time. You know that.
Yeah, I know.
You get a new boat yet?
Not yet. I'm working on it. Let's see.
Don't poke the bear there. It's
I'm
a sore subject.
Just curious.
This is the longest I've not had a boat since I was like a junior in high school. I do got a jet ski, if it counts.
You could be like old Ronnie.
Oh, Ronnie. Yeah, Ronnie actually fished downtown St. Louis in his jet ski.
That dude, cojones. There ain't no way I'd do that.
No.
Good for him though. He got like a 30 or 40 out of it, I think. Like his first few days. It was on YouTube.
That'd be kind of fun though. I mean, kind of like a kayak, just pull you around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a trolling motor on it and everything. He's out of it. It's pretty. I mean, it's cool. I wouldn't have the guts to do it with the barge.
No.
I'd do it and keep no problem.
Could you imagine catching like 102, like Wade or Jake, whoever that was, catching one of them on a jet ski? Do you think you'd be able to stay on it?
Oh yeah,
Think so?
I don't know, man. That'd be tough.
That'd be hard.
a fish trying to pull you around in a monster cat would be harder than just letting it pull you around in a jet ski. All you gotta do is float around with it.
Yeah, but you're gonna be sitting backwards.
You'd have to spin around, I'd think. so you'd had something to put your feet on.
It's not. Listen, it's not much bigger than my jet ski. I'm telling you right now, that would be. Things could go south in a hurry, and the whole thing's upside down.
Yeah.
Like I can picture it, rod gone, jet ski upside down, and you're trying to do that, like read the directions, which side to get on to flip it over.
Where's the handle?
You've got the rod in the multi-bar, and the takedown flips it end over end, picks the front end up out of the water, and flips it back. You're saying?
Yeah, Kevin said, doesn't he have a trolling motor installed on that? I think he actually does.
Got a Minn-Kota Tarova on the front of it.
Trolling motor and a multi-bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a sonar.
Yeah. It's got a Garmin in the dash.
It's crazy.
I'm just,
Wild.
you get up in some pretty skinny water in that thing. I mean, it's not really designed for St. Louis. I think it's more designed for the Fox River, but you could do some serious flathead fishing out of that thing.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
Go
Maybe
from the Skunk River then.
Let's see around, Alex. Maybe we got to do something with it.
No, I'm trying to get rid of it.
It's for sale, by the way. Anybody who needs?
Anybody looking for an 03 Sea-Doo XPDI?
Hey, is it
Getting too old. I mean, it's just kind of hard on your body when you fall.
is it a 4-stroke or 2-stroke, Alex?
It's a 2-stroke. It'll run. I'd like to see you on it.
Me?
Yeah.
I'll be riding wheelies around and all kinds of stuff.
He said, Kevin said he send people in a canoe downtown St. Louis.
There's guys that canoe the whole Mississippi from top to bottom, I think.
Yeah.
It's like a yearly thing.
I'll stick to my bigger boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, canoe, jet ski, or an Easy Cat with Netflix.
Easy cat.
I would like to go as far in the boat as you can go and float all the way down to the Gulf. That'd be pretty sweet. But
Yeah.
I grew up with an 18-foot John boat with a 40-horse 700 tiller handle, and we got rid of that thing pretty quick. It did the trick back in the day, but these days, no. Now we got a 20-foot John boat and a 24-foot Sea Arc between my brother and my dad. I've got a pleasure boat, so yeah, I could not imagine that.
yeah, we fished some tournaments out of some pretty sketchy stuff when I was a kid. I feel a lot more comfortable now. But
Yeah.
I remember it took us about an hour and a half to get from the Warsaw Ursa Farmers Co-op there to the Keokuk boat ramp.
Wow.
Thunder, lightning, and there was probably, realistically looking back now, it's probably 2.5, 3 foot rollers. But we were in a 1648 with two full grown men, and I was 14. So you guys know how big I am. I was pretty much a full grown man. And I was laying up on the front deck, just going up 6 feet, bam, slamming my head down on the deck and going up 6 feet, bam, slamming. It was a blast.
Wow. Yeah.
Big storm rolled in. We went up the Gregory Landing Bridge thinking that was going to stop some of the rain. That was a railroad bridge. There's 2-inch gaps between all the ties all the way across the bridge. It didn't do nothing.
What year was that?
I was probably older than 14. I was definitely still in high school, maybe 16. So that would have been 12 years ago, 2011.
What's crazy is I think that was the tournament I fished.
Probably. Was it a night tournament out of Keokuk and a thunderstorm and
Yeah, I was in a pontoon.
brutal weather?
I was in a 24-foot pontoon with a 70-horse Johnson. It was a 1984. And I could go 12 miles an hour unless I was starting to take water in on the tunes.
You were going faster than us. I'd like to measure that someday because I'm not kidding. It took an hour and a half to get from the Ursa Farmers Co-op to the Keokuk boat ramp. And you can pretty much see the Keokuk boat ramp from the Ursa Farmers Co-op there. I mean, that's like, what, a mile and a half? 2 miles?
Oh, you're talking in Warsaw?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking of like Meyer.
we were like half throttle and going backwards. I mean, it was.
3 miles tops.
We're lucky we're not dead. I mean, that was
Yeah.
bad. We didn't have life jackets on. It was stupid.
Yep.
Wow.
We had a scary one like that one time. We were in that 18-foot boat up in Long Island Lake. I know my brother and I had our bow fishing bows. I don't know if we were running jugs or crappie fishing or whatever we were doing. And a tornado came through LaGrange, and that's probably, 2-3 miles?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were not in a good place. So I've been out there in that. That's not fun.
Well, the worst part is the waves that we were having in my Easy Cat. I could have got up on top and ran 50 miles an hour through them. Not in that boat.
Yeah, that's crazy. We might have fished the same tournament.
I guarantee it, because I fished when I was a kid. We fished every one that came to Keokuk, and just got our faces punched in at all of them. But
You became a lot better now.
no, not necessarily. I just spent more money on it.
I mean, you're ready. I can't wait to see how you two do this weekend.
Yeah.
I have high hopes for both of you.
I hope you don't. I asked him today, Nate. We were on the phone. I said, if you had to put money on somebody winning this tournament this weekend, who would you pick? And he said, hold on, I gotta go. And then he hung up the phone.
At least he was honest. I mean, it can be anybody's game down there, though.
It ain't gonna be me.
90 boats, anybody can catch them fish.
If we win, it is 110%. Just we stumbled on them because I got no right to win this one.
Hey, all you gotta do is catch one fish, get a chance to win another boat.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that. I think I'd win the tournament than the boat, though. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I'd like to win them both.
that trophy looks pretty sweet.
Yep.
Sweet. Yeah.
I can't win the fruit jar tournaments around home. But a great big cup like that.
Yeah, so that all the plaques and stuff that you see with Twisted Cat and the CR tournament this weekend that Nate's did with Classic, and that's pretty sweet. Those what do you call those? Like a bowl or
A Viking cup, I guess.
Viking cup?
You made
Drink a cup. What's that?
you made
No.
you made the Sea Arc trophies?
Yep.
That's awesome, man. That's cool.
Have you seen them yet, Seth?
No, I saw the boxes. They look pretty big. Bella's trophy, so
I sent actually, I'll show it real quick here. I took a picture with Rhett.
you're showing the trophies.
Just a quick glimpse.
You want to show the giveaway boat too, or
I don't have that. I don't have a good picture of that.
You don't have to worry about that, Seth. I'll be taking.
I'll take the trophy. You can have the boat, Nate. How about that?
I took that picture, and Rhett goes, "What should we do, Dad? Fill it up with rocks?"
That's awesome. It's gonna be full of ice and a champagne.
I think whoever wins that. Did you see the bass guy? One of the bass anglers. He didn't win it, but he took his shoe off. He had one of them hook boots, filled it full of beer. That was disgusting, but he drank it.
If I win, I'm gonna do the Bassmaster Classic, like hoist it over my head like this and wait for the confetti, and it's never gonna come.
I'll bring some just for you, Seth.
Now somebody's gonna have some.
Yeah. Well, I hope you win it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, gosh, it's already 9:22.
Yeah,
We can go on for a long time, I guess.
I got some wiring to do.
Yeah. Well, Nate and Adam, thanks for coming on. We'll hopefully hear soon in a few weeks. I can get Nate or Seth to take me out on the water. We'll take Starlink. We'll do some live stuff. We'll be fishing live and talking. So kind of hopefully bring some value, and maybe Seth can show some of the knots. He's got some special knots he's tying. Right?
What?
So you don't. Okay, well, maybe not. And Nate, are you crimping?
Crimping.
So Nate's crimping. I've been crimping. Are you tying or are you crimping, Seth?
What are you talking about? I crimp.
You are crimping now. Okay. What do you got? What are you showing us?
Now, I've been crimping for 2 years.
Okay.
This is what we're taking to Sea Arc right here.
Whoa. Are you kidding me?
5 paracord, #1 swivel off a cast net. I've been saving.
That's a knot.
kind of knot is that?
Huh?
What kind of knot is that?
All of them are not. I don't have crimp enough for
What
550.
test is?
It's 550 paracord.
Wow.
A lot.
They always say go big or go home.
Yeah, I'm gonna put 3 whole skipjack on this bad boy.
Big bait, big fish, right?
Yeah, right.
JT said, "Looks like you've been baking muffins." He's been trying to figure out what you've been hanging on his wall, hanging on that wall.
Hey, hold on. This lead, bud. This is expensive stuff.
Look at that.
No,
Speaking of lead, Nate has more lead than anybody.
Yes.
crimp, bud.
There's a crimp. That crimp is beautiful. I love crimping. Nate loves crimping. Everybody's crimping.
Ripping lips, 8-aught.
There you
Tournament.
go. Nate, how much lead do you have left?
Oh, probably total still about 3,500 pounds, 4,000 pounds.
Where'd you get all that? Got a source, so I don't need any, but I'm curious. That's a lot.
I just been watching on Facebook, to be honest. Come across deals.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm lucky, they've kind of changed the rules a little bit. My dad's a manager at a scrapyard, so whenever lead would come in, I'd get some off him, but that's
Yeah.
kind of now. They don't sell anymore, I guess, so.
Yeah, so I just bought 3,000 pounds probably 3 or 4 months ago.
That was in somebody's basement in St. Louis.
He has down in somebody's basement in St. Louis. We had to haul it out. That wasn't very fun.
That's a lot of lead.
That's a life worth of, I mean, you'll never go through that, though.
Yeah. Well, you've never seen my dad fish. He gets a lot of snacks.
I started out about 150 pounds, and I've still got probably, I don't know, 260, 270, and then what's all boat. So that's over the past 4 years.
Yeah.
I probably got 60 pounds in my boat.
That's a lot of lead.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do you anchoring this weekend or?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably gonna bump. Soccer to work. I don't know. I've been trying to Facebook a little bit. It looks like a lot of guys are anchoring, but
Yeah.
I like dragging. It's a blast.
Yeah. I love dragon.
Whatever I'm doing, just don't do that. Like, oh yeah, dragging in 35 feet of water. You might as well go to 2 foot. I tell you, last year I had one of the best weeks of fishing of my life leading up to the tournament, and then didn't catch a fish the whole day of the tournament. So hopefully we can change that around this year, but it was fun.
Yeah.
And I marked so many big fish on tournament day and couldn't get them to eat.
That's what's fun about catfishing, though. You never know when that rod goes down. It could happen any second. And it could be a 50, 60, 80, 100 pounder. You just never know.
Yeah. 100%.
Beginner pays off. You never know.
Yep.
Well, I guess none of you are beginners, obviously, but
That's the only reason, I mean, to go down there is and the same with Alton. You go down any moment, you could have a 100-pound fish on.
Yep.
You could not know what you're doing and have a 100-pound fish on. At home, if you catch a 60, then you better take some really, really good pictures of it and not tell anybody where you are and all
Yeah.
that. Down there, you can catch 100 anytime. So that's why I like to go down there. It's not.
you're starting to maybe take some days off this week.
Yeah.
I'll be living through you guys this weekend.
Last year was a lot better. I had a kid last year, so I got 160 hours of PTO for that. And this year, I couldn't bring myself to have another kid. So
I need to work on my boss. I just had a kid not too long ago, and I think I got 4 or 6 hours PTO.
right.
Wow.
Come on, Dad. That's messed up.
Right?
That's funny.
All right. Well, you guys got anything left that you'd like to talk about, Adam or Nate?
I don't think so.
Just if anybody's available to take a veteran out fishing or active duty, take a warrior out fishing the first weekend of June every year, Fishing for Freedom, Quincy, Illinois. We would appreciate it. You can get a hold of us on Facebook, website, fishingforfreedomquincy.org. Send us a message on Facebook. We'd appreciate all the help we can get.
You probably ought to just go ahead and put me down for Sunday. I don't think I can get out of it. So, and if it's only one day, I can pull that off.
All right.
Do it right.
All
There
right.
we go. To do an hour and a half show to get him to go, but he's in.
Yep.
And like you said, it's June 6th, right? I'll go ahead and put that in.
June 2nd through 4th.
Okay,
It'll be the 4th.
Yep.
sounds good.
It's always the first Sunday of June.
Go ahead and tell him for next year.
What's that?
Go ahead and tell him for next year.
Okay. We already signed you up for next year too, Seth.
Sounds good.
And he's right now. Hold on, Nate. He's marking more waypoints.
Yeah.
Here, I'll give you the date. May 31st through June 2nd, 2024.
Perfect.
Okay.
The rumor at work right now is I'm quitting and getting a job at CRC, so hopefully that comes true. I don't know where they're getting that, but everybody,
You'll find out this weekend, right?
there's a big calendar at work, and there's been about 4 times they've wrote Seth's last day. That has an interview at CRC on this date, and I'm like, well, I'm going to just show up in Arkansas one day. I'm like, hey, my guys at work told me I had an interview, so let's
I love it.
put this up.
Come join me.
I'd love to. Just kidding, boss, if you're watching.
What's his name? I'll send this to him.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks so much for hanging out, watching tonight. We had to kick it back an hour late because I had to fly into Chicago. Next Monday, we're going to try to have the winners, which could be one of these two here, of the CRC Owners Invitational, talk about that and continue to talk about our Jeffersonville, Indiana tournament coming up in May 13th. And all the other fun stuff. Like I said, we talked about the Jack and Jill tonight, Fishing for Freedom. Any questions at all, send us a message. Send Adam Renee a message or Seth and I. And we got a lot of events coming up. The weather's changing soon, I hope, or a little bit getting better. But a lot of things will start happening, a lot of big events and fun events are going to be coming up here soon. We'd love for you to be a part of them. And have a great week. And Nate and Seth have a safe trip down to CRC. Adam and myself, I'll be joining you guys, but me and Adam will not be fishing this weekend, unfortunately. So we got the sad face.
I'll be on Monday. Guess I won.
I hope, dude. I'm rooting for you. You and Nate.
We can't both
Top two.
take second.
There we go. We'll give it our all.
Okay. All right, everybody, have a good night. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next Monday. Have a good week.
Tight lines.
Thank you.
Tight lines.
Good luck this week.